welcome back. Let's do question 161. The graphs of f of x is equal to x squared minus 4 and g of x is equal to negative x plus 2. This is f and g as sketched below. A and b are the x-intercepts. A and b are the x-intercepts of f. Then c and d are the y-intercepts of f and g respectively. C is the y-intercept of f. D is the y-intercept of g. K is a point on G. K is a point on G so that BK is parallel to the y-axis, meaning that BK is a vertical line. F and G intersected A and E. For which values of x will f of x be less than g of x? We are going to use our answers from the previous questions. We're going to use our answers from the previous questions. So we want where f of x is below g of x. Less than means below g of x. So the coordinates of E, we found that is negative 3, 5. And then the coordinates of A, 2, 0. These 2 points, A and E, the graphs are equal. But now, what about when x is less than negative 3? That's the first part we're going to look at. Let's call it region A. Then what about when x is between negative 3 and 2? That's origin B there. And then C, when x is greater than 2. Okay. Right. When x is greater than 2, going this way. When x is less than negative 3, going this way. And then when x is between negative 3 and 2, we're looking at the x coordinates. Okay, we're referring to the x coordinates. Right. Now let's check our graphs. When x is less than negative 3, g of x is less than f of x. G of x is less than f of x because g of x is below f of x. This part, let me show you. This is g of x. It is less than f of x. This is f of x. See, f of x is above g of x, so we don't want that region. Then region B, between negative 3 and 2, it is now g of x, which is above. G of x, which is above, and then above f of x. See, this is f of x, which is below g of x. So that's the region we want here. That's the region we want. And then when x is greater than 2, g of x again is now below. G of x is now below f of x. You see, f of x is now above. So we don't want this part. We don't want this part. Where is f of x less than g of x? F of x is less than g of x when x is greater than negative 3 but less than 2. Right? This is an interval. When x is between negative 3 and positive 2. This interval here. That's where f of x is less than g of x. When I'm comparing graphs, when I'm saying less than, when f of x less than g of x, we're saying where f of x is below g of x. When I'm saying f of x greater than g of x, we're saying where f of x is above g of x. Okay.